Welcome to Folkestone Seafront. Back in its heyday, this area made a lot of money. A thriving port with amusements and a great seaside resort. People of the town and visitors flocked to its sunny sands in the summer. But change happens. Comparatively, there's little here today, but in recent years great work has commenced in the town, and there is hope for regeneration. This land seems like it has so much more potential, and it's a shame to see so much of the harbour area has fallen into dereliction. I wanted to find out if there's still hope to bring Folkestone Seafront back to its glory days and replace the recreational facilities that used to thrive in this area. In 1971, the seafront flourished at the height of summer. But you can't get in that pool anymore. Here's that stretch from the harbour today. Since then, years have passed with new ideas. But it seems that change has been proposed, and planning permission was granted just last year to redevelop Folkestone Seafront once more. In 2004, Folkestone Harbour was bought for £11 million by Roger De Haan. Trevor Minter works for Mr De Haan to support a variety of projects in Kent, but he also has the responsibility for the future development of Folkestone Seafront. I met with him at the harbour where planning permission has been granted for the latest proposals.
We've got this vision that people will want to live here because you're right by the sea. You can enjoy the views, you can enjoy the sea sports, and you can have an active and enjoyable life where it's a wonderful place to bring up your children. And that's his vision for this town, that it's a positive place, growing in economic opportunity, but a place you'll want to stay, not to leave, as many of the talented young people have done in the past.
So how will Mr De Haan's vision for this town be fulfilled?
This area will become apartments in the future, probably a hotel, certainly restaurants and cafes all along the edge of the harbour where you're looking at the fishing boats and the small boats, and we want to exploit that more so people will come out to this area and enjoy it. There'll be apartments here where people can live and have these wonderful views of the cliffs and to France and out to sea. What's happening at the moment is these old buildings which were part of the former port are now getting quite dangerous, so demolition has begun. We're then going to open up this area for car parking and for other uses. We expect maybe markets and maybe other venues and events can happen in the short term.
And in between the coastal park and the skate park nightclub area, that's where the houses would be?
That's where the houses will go.
Okay.
We envisage about 300 houses in that direction and about 500 apartments around this area.
I went to the Folkestone Railway Social Club to find out what this town used to be like, and to see if the town's residents have faith in these new plans.
At the moment, Folkestone is full of art shops and highbrow shops that
Nobody
the
ever
majority of people, it's not a lot of good to them. All right, it's tidied the town up, there's no doubt about that, we all agree with that, but it's not attracting the correct amount of the right people, because you've got to think of young families that come to these towns for holidays and anything like that.
Plans to resurrect the seafront have been hit by setbacks. The Remembrance Line Association want the railway to be reopened. They think it would bring people to the harbour in the summer and connect the town, as well as restoring the historical use of the area. Dave Horton of the Folkestone Green Party backs the plans to regenerate Folkestone, but he thinks that they should adopt the ideas of the Remembrance Line.
The Folkestone Green Party have backed a plan to open Folkestone East train station, which is just in the background, and the Remembrance Line Association have forwarded a plan for a tram service which would run through the harbour. That would be a fantastic plan for Folkestone in general.
It hasn't hindered our plans as such, but if the railway line were to remain open, we couldn't continue with this development because it cuts right through the middle of the area. The railway line aspirations, in my view, have had their day. It was a wonderful part of our heritage, and we hope to capture that heritage in the story of the port. But at the moment, what you see here is a redundant railway line that's not been used properly for scheduled services for 20 years. And it's time to move on, in my view.
David Taylor is locally very active in the upkeep of the town's appearance.
I'd like to think I had faith in it. I think that the plan is excellent, but I think that Roger de Haan is a shrewd enough man not to start breaking ground in the harbour area for some time, because the economy is not sufficiently recovered for that.
The first thing to understand is that Roger de Haan was an extremely successful businessman, which has given him the wherewithal to reinvest in this town. If he was at all being a businessman today, he wouldn't do any of this, because none of it makes sense from an economic point of view. What he's doing is investing in this town, which is his hometown, which is where his firm was based and where it flourished in Saga. And he believes in trying to regenerate the town. So that's why he's put nearly £50 million into the creative quarter. That's why he's built the fountain. That's why he's bought Rock Salt Restaurant. And that's why he's developing this plan. No one coming in for profit would do it. So David is quite right from that point of view. But by making it Folkestone a more attractive place, then we think we can reach a point, hopefully with the improvement in the economy, where houses can be built and will sell, and it will lift the whole town in terms of employment and opportunities.
I think it's safe to say that plans to regenerate Folkestone Seafront are largely welcomed by the residents of the area. But people in and around the town have different ideas on how it should be regenerated. Years, even decades, of talk but little action may have damaged the faith of the people in the area. Hopefully in the near future we'll find out if these specific developments will help restore the faith of people from Folkestone, and whether this seaside town can flourish in the way it deserves to.